Welcome to the Young and the Restless, the Pop Culture's WWE podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Betts, and alongside...
I am the dead man walking. I'm Jem.
You guys know us every Friday morning at 8 a.m. on podcast services and 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you do support us over on a Patreon at any level, you can actually watch us record this show live. Unlike this week, where I felt like, you know what? There's a new era in WWE right now. And, you know, because they've given us a taste of what's coming in the future. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to accidentally give everyone a taste. So, welcome to everyone that isn't a Patreon that is joining us for our Young and the Restless this week, because they are here to join that wrestling conversation. Yes. And if you want to join that wrestling conversation, you can head over to Facebook, facebook.com/group/the Pop Cultures. Follow us on Twitter. Mm-hmm. Or you can go to the links in the description. Some Discord action. And if you want to show the support for the Pop Cultures on your body in a more once-off fashion, head over to thepopcultures.com/shop. You can buy shirts like this and other assorted shit with our logos on it. We are also on Twitch, twitch.tv/thepopcultures. Now, I didn't get to stream this week because every time I move my face, just cough my guts out.
Yeah, same.
So that was lovely. So I've kind of toned that down. So I've stopped coughing my face out, which is nice. Well, it's still there. But yesterday I was like... blah, 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 blah. And because I wanted to play VR, I was going to do Five Nights at Freddy's. Hey, Dash! Because we're doing Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm like, ah!
Yeah. So, there we go. Perfect example.
So I didn't want to do that. So I decided to pull the stream. But that's fine. But next week, ladies and gentlemen, will be our Extreme Rules predictions. Now, we haven't had him in here in a while, but I think I'm going to get Craig in.
Yeah.
We'll get Craig back for some
Extreme
Rules. Extreme.
Yeah.
Excellent. How you been, man?
I am dying. Hence the dead man walking. But no, other than that, I'm really good. Like, we've had an awesome week of wrestling so far. Like, as we'll describe, the shows were awesome this week. As well as AEW Fighter Fest earlier in the week, which was a lot of fun. So it's been a good week.
Well, what we'll do, before we dive in, we'll chat about Fighter Fest and then we'll chat about the regular shows.
Yeah.
But let's talk about a bit of news that literally dropped a minute 25 after we finished up the stream last week.
Oh.
We finished this. We finished this recording last night, and then I get a message. Last week, and I get a message from Killer. Killer's like, dude, check it. Minutes after recording, they dropped the news that Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff will be the creative directors of Raw and SmackDown, respectively. So, it's essentially what they're doing is that they're becoming the new creative pushers of those shows. Yeah. So it's almost like Vince McMahon is taking a step back and bringing in some new voices. He's finally come to some senses that there is a bit of a problem here creatively, and he's putting it in the hands of other people.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, the common consensus was that Vince wouldn't do anything until at least his wallet was affected. Yeah. And we looked at Stomping Grounds having like 2,500 attendees. Yeah. Like 5,000 attendees. Yeah. And then Raw having like 2,500 attendees.
Yeah, numbers have dropped grossly.
Staggeringly lower attendance than a Raw ever and a pay-per-view should have. So I think this is where it's going to kick in the butt and be like, all right, we need to actually do something.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's interesting that they're like, last time we had competition, who was the head of that competition? Oh, I don't know, Paul Heyman at ECW, Eric Bischoff at WCW. Let's get them to come in and help steer this ship.
I am all about it. I was just watching a video where Eric Bischoff was saying, you know, he said on his podcast, I believe, that he's stoked for this position. He understands the magnitude of it, and he's so honored and humbled to be given this position that it makes him well up. Like, he's really excited for this. And you know what? I'm psyched because back in the day when Eric Bischoff was a huge part of storylines and things like that stuff was awesome. And we're already starting to see trickles of that coming back in, and I am so hyped for what this is going to bring for the WWE and for us, for the content that we get to give you guys.
Well, so the thing is, like, I don't know a lot about Eric Bischoff, only because it's just that was a different era to me. Like, as we all know, like, my wrestling world is
Super Show,
like the last year. Well, I've been watching for about a year, but I've gone back a bit, so I've got at least 2 years under my belt there. I'll jump into those. We've got comments there from Nathan and Killer. I'll jump into those in just a sec. But so Paul Heyman, I know well. So what was fascinating after doing a bit of reading, a bit of finding out, like, okay, who, like, Bischoff, what's he got? What can he do? So he's responsible for the big NWO thing back in the day.
Yeah.
Which is
the New World Order.
Pretty massive.
Yeah,
huge. Cord just punching me in the leg. There's that's certainly a very cool thing, and it's like I'm sure, like, once again, New World Order was huge as far as I can recall.
Yeah.
Didn't watch it, can't comment.
Massive.
Paul Heyman is one of the creative minds behind, like, anyone that sort of needs help getting over in the backstage. Paul Heyman's there.
Yes.
He's the guy. Now, there was a while ago where Paul and Vince were working together, and Vince wasn't happy with Paul creatively giving so much, so that's when they split and they went away for a couple of years, came back together. So that shows that Paul has ideas in mind. There's things he wants to do, and that Vince is sort of being a bit flexible here too. Yeah. And I think Paul will do some awesome shit. And we get this week, we got a little bit of fingerprints on the on this episode of Raw. So that's certainly positive. I think it's going to be good. But how do you think that? So, from my understanding, is that their role is very similar to that of Triple H over on NXT.
Yes.
How do you feel that this role wasn't given to Triple H?
I honestly think he wouldn't have wanted it. I think, he wants to step up into a high position beyond that creative side of things. I'm really excited, especially because this has come off the back of, obviously, Jon Moxley's huge open criticism of Vince McMahon and the way he handles things creatively. I think this is a step in the right direction. Obviously, Vince has acknowledged the fact that he has been given this criticism, and he's like, well, maybe I need to step back, know, which is huge of him because, you always hear about how stubborn he is. I'm just really excited for it all, to be perfectly honest, because again, we're going back to, the Attitude Era and before, like, my era of wrestling, which I am so hyped to watch again. But yeah, I definitely think, like, Triple H has bigger things in play. Obviously, NXT is his brainchild. He wants to focus on that. And once he's moved on from that and he's found, like, a suitable person.
He leaves it to the hands of, like, Regal.
Regal, exactly, which I think Regal's perfect for it. I think it'll be great for Triple H to move into that higher position. He's the one we'll see backstage sitting where Vince McMahon does. Yeah,
I think it's very similar. I think it's more of a, rather than giving him, because when Vince goes, Triple H, as I punch the microphone, Triple H is in that role. Like, he's coming up and taking it. So, like,
there's no one else.
For him, it's more of like, I'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
I'm over here. Make these guys do here. I'll be there soon enough. Yeah. All right, jump back over here. Let's see.
Groom the NXT superstars into it.
AJ says, Nathan says Bischoff is gone.
I agree.
And Killer says Heyman also has a proven track record too with SmackDown previously.
Yes, he does. Yeah, once
Nathan also adds in, he goes, look, straight up, Bischoff was a pain in Vince's ass back in the day for a good reason. Enough to emulate what Bischoff was doing, and in my opinion, not quite as good. WCW had fun scrappiness because of it. Pardon me. Saying that, so our good friends Paris and Craig,
yes,
we were talking about the wrestling back in the day, and for them, they didn't watch WWE back in the day, WWF back then. They watched WCW.
Yeah.
So, like, that's something, right?
Yeah.
Like, because, WCW did come in and was a legitimate threat.
Yeah.
Where AEW is certainly a legitimate threat, but we're still got a little bit of time before they really present themselves as that threat.
Yeah.
So I think getting this stuff now is probably a good way to go.
Yeah, and it went as bad as, like, people like DX, like, invading WCW and stuff like that. So, they were a serious threat, and they say keep your enemy, like, your friends close and your enemies closer. So, good move.
Yeah, certainly. All right. Let us know what you thought of Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff becoming creative directors on Raw and SmackDown. Let us know in the comments below. Discord, Facebook group, all those places. Speaking of AEW, though, over the weekend, AEW had, I guess, one of their B-list pay-per-views, Fyter Fest. So taking the piss out of Fyre Fest, the Ja Rule and that embezzling dude, little music festival on the island a couple months back.
Oh, that was so good.
It was like a year ago now.
Yeah.
So this
and
is
a rip on the documentary of it as well.
Yeah, it's a rip on the documentary of that. This took place at Daytona Beach.
Yes.
Now, for some reason, I'm connecting Daytona Beach and Dusty Roads. Is that maybe it's a connection that I've made up in my head, but I
just think
feel
of the
that there
old
was
school car
something going on over there. And yes, of course, the
old
car
Daytona.
game.
Yeah.
Look, so we're not going to go play by play here. We're just going to talk about the pay-per-view in general.
Yeah.
And just sort of what we thought. Go ahead.
Yeah. I thought overall, like a phenomenal pay-per-view. The piss takes on everything, like the whole thing backstage with Kenny Omega carrying gear and talking about Blink pulling out, and he's like, "What?" And then
What's
having
a Blink,
and then having Mark Hoppus on Twitter like, "Dude, catering was fucked," and things like that, and showing like the catering from Firefest. Like, it was all flawlessly put together, and it was just so good. And little nods to things like Kenny Omega and what are they called? The tag team we just watched. I always forget their name. The brothers.
The Good Brothers.
No.
What?
The video we just watched where they were taking the piss out of Cody.
Oh, the Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks. That's it. They were. The whole Street Fighter nod there was super cool. It was amazing. It was phenomenal. The match with it was Yuka Sakazaki, Riho, and Nyla Rose. Phenomenal.
A little fact I found out. Nyla Rose is the first ever transgender woman to be signed to a main roster.
Oh, that's so awesome. I didn't know that.
And your Discord link has expired. Fuck's sake, I change that shit all the time.
Oh, no.
Thank you, though.
But yeah, I don't know where to start. It was phenomenal. The match with Cody Rhodes, and I've forgotten the gentleman's name because I'm horrible.
What, Cody? Darby Allin.
Yeah, that's it, Darby Allin. That was amazing as
well. That coffin drop, as it was called, onto the apron.
Yeah.
Holy actual fuck.
That was brutal. What else? The whole thing was amazing. The match with Jungle Boy, Adam Page,
MJF and Jimmy Havoc.
Yeah. Jimmy Havoc, phenomenal. We did discover that Jimmy Havoc looks like a good friend of mine, Lee.
Yeah, he looks like Lee.
Yeah. We were like, hey, do you have a day job? And where are you right now? Yeah. But yeah, no, the whole thing.
So I know he flies interstate sometimes for work.
Yeah, so. Interstate. No, it was amazing. Like, absolutely phenomenal. Like, I'm lost for words. I could sit here all night and talk about how good it was. Like, AEW really are showing that they are the elite. And we had an amazing elite breakfast here. Compliments of you. Second AEW, second All Elite Brekkie. It was a good time.
Well, we've got Fight for the Fallen in like 2 weeks.
I'm so excited. More All Elite breakfast, please.
More breakfast. All Elite breakfast. I like
Ryan?
that.
Bring the hash browns.
No, I agree. I thought across the board it was really good. There was the kickoff show was probably the weakest.
Yeah,
thing of
but
it.
It was still good.
Like the librarians.
Oh yeah, that was a bit.
That was a bit bummer. But like on a plus side though, you can really tell that All Elite are using the kickoff show as their testing bed.
Yes.
They're like, okay, well here are some things we're not entirely sure how they're going to go down.
Yeah.
So here it is. Like it's up for free on all your places, so like on YouTube and whatnot. So for them, it's like, okay, we'll see how this goes to the masses, and then we'll give the confirmed good shit.
Yeah.
To those that are paying, which is a good way to go about it. So the librarians literally just showed the difficulty of putting over a gimmick.
Yeah.
Because my mouse is all up in the way. With gimmicks, it's because I was talking with Dylan the other day. He's like, how come wrestlers don't have gimmicks like they did in the 80s anymore? I'm like, because it's really tough to get that shit over.
Yeah.
And we saw it firsthand with the librarians. It's a real bummer. The Michael Nakazawa and the dude from the CEO of CEO. Oh, yes. That match was fucking weird.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer. It's because it was a hardcore match. And I like that they used like GameCube controllers and arcade sticks and just some silly stuff, but it was fine.
I forgot to mention the match of the night.
What else did we see? Yeah, so the triple threat with Riho, Nyla Rose and Yuka was awesome. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that a lot. Actually, it was great.
That was so good.
The 4-way on point. Adam Page getting the win there, which is good. Having him be strong moving into
Jungle Boy riding out on Luchasaurus was amazing.
Dude, give me all the Luchasaurus all the time.
He's so good.
I'm a big fan of this Jungle Boy Luchasaurus thing.
I love it.
Perfect combo. It's absolutely great. What else did we see? Yeah, so we saw the Darby Allin Cody Rhodes match, which I think was great. So for those that may not have watched, it went time limit.
Yeah.
So normally they announce that each match has X amount of time on it, and they actually hit the 20 minutes here, so it became a draw, which is good for 2 runs. It keeps Cody looking strong.
Yeah.
2, it makes Darby look strong as well. So
Yes.
both come out great without taking the loss. So
Yes.
Darby relatively new here, and Cody shouldn't take the loss
Yeah.
in his,
In his
own company
his brainchild,
yet. But yeah, no, it looked great because it just showed this resilience in Darby as a competitor.
Yeah.
Which I think makes him look rad. So
Yeah.
even though the match wasn't very technically heavy, it wasn't very aerial heavy, but there were some real solid bumps.
Yeah.
That I think worked in that, and just sort of it kind of puts Darby in with already having 2 hardcore matches on the card. They couldn't slip another one in there, but he looks to be someone that will be joining the hardcore section of All Elite.
Yes.
So having him there to move him in is good.
Awesome.
So, because I noticed this morning for Fyter Fest, they announced a match with Havoc, Joey Janela, and Darby Allin against MJF, Sean Spears, and some other guy I don't know.
Which I
so
do
like
think
as
is
in
a
like all your hardcore boys versus your fucking dickholes.
Yeah.
It's very cool. Little setup.
Yeah.
But like as in like that's how you get him in doing a hardcore match without doing a hardcore match. Dig it.
And mentioning Sean Spears, I did forget to mention Cody took a brutal vicious chair shot to the head.
He took a gnarly unprotected headshot. Now, it was certainly intentional because you can watch Cody cock his arms back, like he holds those things tight, so that way
But
he
he
doesn't
took
get
it
there.
so well.
So it was meant to be. It was a gimmick chair. It was supposed to crumble like once he hit, like presuming that he hit right in the center of the butt piece.
Yeah.
However, when Sean Spears went for the hit, he hit a little bit too far forward, and the head part, the back part of the chair, that's what wrapped around Clinty's head, and then that's what made him bled out.
Yeah.
So gnarly spot. Unprotected headshots,
blood
I personally
everywhere
have a
for Cody.
concern because of concussion stuff.
Yeah.
But if all parties are consenting and it's a one-off and you've got those gimmick chairs and it's done properly, I don't see, because having it being done like with WWE, the concern there is that someone fences like, you have to take like 14 shots to the head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this is Cody. He's an executive vice president here. Like, he has up there in the power. So for him to be like, I'm going to take this hit.
I'd imagine Sean to be like, oh, no. And it's like,
he's like, no,
yes.
you're going to hit me with that chair. This is how it's going to go down. Because if you want real heat, this is what you're going to do. Like, we need to set you up as a bad dude.
Yeah.
So that was totally, like, it was fine. It was horrible, but it was still fine.
Well, it was confirmed he had 12 staples
12 staples, no concussion.
No concussion, so he come out of it pretty okay.
So
luckily.
no concussion is certainly good. I'm happy with no concussion.
And then match of the night, John Moxley.
We also mentioned that Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, so the Elite versus Pentagon, the Lucha Brothers, and some other guy I don't know. Pentagon Jr. is part of the Lucha Brothers, and I think it's awesome. I love Pentagon Jr.
I've forgotten their names. But it was good. It was a good match.
Yeah, it was a good match. There was a triple Hadouken, which I thought was great. Some couple of good spots there,
especially with the Street Fighter gimmick. It was perfect.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then finally the unsanctioned match of John Moxley and Joey Janela.
Yeah,
no rules, no disqualifications, hardcore match.
Thumbtacks came out and I cringed so hard. Because especially that whole spot, like with John Moxley taking off Joey Janela's shoes, I was like, no, please don't. And then he didn't initially, but then he drops him barefoot on the thumbtacks, and I was like, but it was so good because he's just like, yes, like this is what I wanted to see. And then like chairs with barbed wire and boards with barbed wire and more boards with barbed wire and then tables and more tables and then more thumbtacks and the entire match. He's just like, like that takes me back to like, old matches you see reruns of like, Mick Foley and stuff like that. Just all that brutal stuff. Like, we know that Tommy Dreamer's been a part of AEW, and like Tommy Dreamer used to do this stuff in AEW, like in ECW, and like it's just it was so great, but it was so cringy, and it's like, this is the wrestling like I used to love, and like it's so bad, but it's so good.
Like saying that though, like they took some gnarly bumps and sort of like hits and shit, but I didn't find this nowhere near as confronting as like Dustin Rhodes bleeding out.
That's true too.
I found that way more confronting because I'm like, hey, you're an old man and you're bleeding very hard.
Yeah.
Where here it was just cool. It was awesome to see Mox in what I presume is his prime.
Yes.
As in, like, this is where he wanted to be.
That's where he thrives.
Having had a chat with Josh, my co-host on the other show, For the Plans. Yes. If you go watch pre-NXT, whenever Dean Ambrose was wrestling at the time, like, that's some gnarly deathmatch stuff.
Yeah.
Like, not like, yeah.
And he's so good at it.
So, not hardcore match, like death matches. Like,
yeah.
Fucking brutal shit.
Yep, yep.
So, yeah, so having come back and then be able to deliver these, awesome. Joey Janela was rad. He was on point too.
He was so good.
Thoroughly loved it.
Love the whole, like, at the end of it, Kenny Omega ended up coming out.
Yeah, Kenny Omega comes out and dusses him
Kenny.
as well. Yeah.
I did see a video afterwards of, like, apparently as one of the cameramen was walking back as John Moxley was getting escorted out, one of the cameramen fell and Mox just looks at him and goes, it was so good. Just like he's getting carted out. He's like, it was perfect.
No, it was great. It was absolutely great. So
it was phenomenal.
One thing I do want to once again praise All Elite Wrestling for is they have taken the same sort of style thing that Japan do,
yes,
which is the post-match media junkets.
Yeah,
where they have the wrestlers and whoever come out and sit and chat, you know, and answer questions, and they stay in kayfabe. Like, dude, MJF's post-match breakdown thing. Holy shit, dude!
Phenomenal.
MJF is going to be huge.
Yeah.
Like he's huge-ish now, but he is going to blow the fuck up, and I can't wait because he is so good.
He's so good.
They had like Tony Khan come out, who is the director.
Sorry, I just remembered who MJF reminds me of, and there was a wrestler back in the day called Matt Striker, and for some reason it reminds me of him. Just perfect heel. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, so Tony Khan was out there talking about the headshot and other sort of things like that as well. So I love him. I love them. It is something is a literal point of difference between them and WWE.
Yeah.
And I think it's gives them that full blown sport look.
Yes.
It beautifully blurs that line between kayfabe and reality. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And I need more of it all the time.
Couldn't agree more.
All the time. So let us know once again
good.
what you thought of Fighter Fest. Comments below.
So
Facebook.
good.
All those social media links are in the below section. I want to drink a drink. What did Killer say over there?
He just told us that MJF over Baron Corbin, which I couldn't agree more. Like, sure, Baron Corbin brings some good heat, but he's got nothing on MJF.
Yeah, so the heat with Baron Corbin is heat for not wanting him to do something.
Yes.
Where MJF, his heat is because he's a dick.
Yeah.
It's like genuine heat versus what is Vince going to do to this guy.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
Don't get me wrong. I still want Baron Corbin to have the strap.
Yeah.
I want him to have that belt so bad. Just for the funsies.
I think
absolute funsies.
Nah.
But let's get into this week's episode of Monday Night RAW. This one took place in Dallas, Texas, and started off in a literal no fuck around fashion. So rather than having 20 minutes of bullshitting and talking and whatnot, straight into it. Yeah. Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley in a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Yep.
So I just wrote here, no fluff. No fluff style. It was absolutely beautiful. There was a very quick video package, just enough to set up that that Baron's.
They're sick of
the Bobbies that had the tug of war thingy. There's some slapping.
About, they just want to get the fight on.
Yeah, they just want to fight, which was very, very cool.
Yeah.
One thing that was rad. There was a ringside senton from Strowman.
Yeah, the standing senton.
Holy shit.
Amazing. So good. It was a brutal start. Like, they were all hands. Like, they wanted to kill each other, it looked like.
Yeah.
And you know what? It was great.
Yeah, I love it.
It was so good. I couldn't get over the fact that, like, on air they let Corey Graves say holy shit.
We'll get to that.
Oh, just him talking about it. Like, that's how quickly it started. Like, somebody did something, he's just like, holy shit. And I was just
so
swearing.
After this sort of side-by senton, there's a big scuffer that went into the crowd and came back around.
Bins getting thrown, chairs getting thrown.
Braun throwing Bobby Lashley onto the stage.
Beautiful throw, by the way.
Bobby getting an excellent suplex on Braun onto the LED floor.
Yeah.
Bobby gets up to walk around the back. Braun
Big
gets
old
up,
pose from
fucking
Bobby.
tackles him through the LED board. The LED board explodes, and they both fall what it looks like a good, or meter and a half, 2 meters onto their butts.
They disappeared.
And then a bunch of explosive fires, electrical fires and explosions behind them. Absolutely amazing. This is where Corey's like, holy shit. Like, which was just the epitome, like, it's just perfect analogy for what everyone was thinking.
Yeah. And then as soon as Corey said it, the crowd's like, holy shit. And I was like, I think somebody just died.
But there is a couple of things here that were really, really promising. Starting with none of that bullcrap. Yeah. How it was shot was very different.
Yeah.
Most of the time, even in Falls Count Anywhere matches, it's still very well produced. It's still very not a lot of shaky cam.
Angles,
Where here, there was shaky cam, there was chasing shots, there was long edits. Long cuts. So there wasn't like a lot of stop changing cameras to get the best shot.
Yeah, you see one guy sprinting up the ramp with his camera, like they've got his camera view sprinting up the ramp, coming to like look down at the carnage.
Yeah, and on top of that, there was an additional camera up high showing the behind the ring, and sort of like just holding tight on it, like no movement. It's clearly a mounted camera. Showed like it just excellent.
Yeah, when they were getting loaded in and stuff. Yeah,
that get loaded into ambulances and scooted off out the back and.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Corey Graves making his way down to check on everybody was super sweet. Obviously, that was dead silence from the announcers at this point, just listening to everybody shout out for EMTs and get people loaded up. Yeah,
having it be dead silent and all the LED board is done.
Black, just straight black.
All the electrical equipment behind here is what runs the board.
Yeah.
So like having that blow out is certainly a problem. So they all get escorted out.
Yeah. People yelling, cut the power and stuff.
Ambulances.
Yeah, and then obviously like your announcers just start talking soft and the mood, like it all just fills the mood. They're just like, we'll
processing
check back in
what
with
they've
them.
just seen. Like, it's very, very cool, and it was totally awesome.
Yeah,
but there is a concern that I think someone could have possibly have died.
Yeah. And then they cut to the ad break, and when they come back, it's just perky normal like.
Well, not really. They're still hanging on the back. Like they'd go to an ad break, come back, and and like Bobby's loaded up in the ambulance. They're still getting Braun because these are big effing dudes. Like there's a lot of work involved in getting them on stretchers, and like they are braced up to the nine, like neck braces. They are strapped to the
heads are strapped in.
Like this is like hardcore level of ensuring these guys are okay.
And this is old school, what we used to see back in the day as well, and it was just so beautifully done.
Bit of ECW.
Yeah, definitely. But like after that first, they cut to a second break after they're like processing the whole thing, and they come straight back into the Viking Raiders, who have no backboard obviously because everything's been shut down, and they're all just like, and the Viking Raiders, like everything's just back. We're gonna get back into it, which is great. I love that it's just straight back into it with the Viking Raiders, who were versing the New Day, and for some reason the New Day had the backboard.
The Viking Raiders have it all set to black anyway. They only have the
they do board, too, the big lighting and stuff. My bad. Anyway, I was just like, for some reason the Viking Raiders have no backboard, but these guys do. Anyway, but yeah, they New Day versus the Viking Raiders, which I was kind of excited about because it's really good to see the Viking Raiders once again getting pinned against proper competition, not just some dickheads from town.
Credit across both shows this week. No random fucks, which is brilliant. Like I don't want random dudes in my wrestling. I want the people that I want to watch. That's what I want. Yeah, give me them peoples.
Yeah, and it was so good. I love. I love Big E every time he comes out and he's hugging the audience and stuff like that. Absolutely love him. It was a really good match. It was like, I really enjoyed it. I do have a huge appreciation for the Viking Raiders and seeing them go up against, people of their size. Like obviously Big E is the same size as these guys, so it was really cool to see them go up against one another,
especially up against the likes of Ivar.
Yeah, exactly. Big dude.
I remember the difference,
and it's very interesting because Ivar, being the bigger one of the two of Eric and Ivar, the Viking Raiders, he's the more agile one, which is really interesting. Yeah, I love that. But yeah, at this point, like Samoa Joe comes out and attacks.
Yeah, and it gets the choke on Ziggler.
He does. Yeah.
Then
Kofi does come out, obviously, to help his brethren.
Yes. So as they're doing the ringside buss in, the Viking Raiders drop out as well, and they also get the boot in on I think it was Xavier on the ringside there. Ad break. And then we come back to the New Day versus the Viking Raiders and Samoa Joe.
Yes,
so what they're doing, so something that's happened here is there was a sort of backstage sort of thing. Is like, we don't go to ad breaks during matches anymore.
Yeah,
they said that, and they've already broken it like 4 times.
Yeah.
So that it's almost like they were hanging for something to happen. Oh shit, Joe's here. Cool, choke him out. All right, quick ad break. Come back, new match. So that's fine.
Excuse me.
But yeah, New Day versus Viking Raiders and Samoa Joe. It was all right.
Yeah.
I guess this sort of assumes that the Viking Raiders will be heels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I've always thought that. I think they've always been set up to be powerhouses, like bad powerhouses, I guess.
Yeah, but they've not done any heely thing. Then again, they've not really had a lot of TV time outside of their occasional match here and there.
But yeah, it just proves that the Viking Raiders are going in that direction, which I initially which is
fine. There's a lot of face tag teams.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what they can do, and
I think they may have done that in NXT too.
Yeah. But yeah, ultimately Joe does get the win with a coconut clutch on Kofi Kingston for the second week in the row, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was that.
Do you think it's foreshadowing to Extreme Rules?
I am not sure at this stage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm genuinely not sure. I'm really torn. Like, I think it definitely could be, but at the same time, I don't think it's Kofi's time to drop the title yet. I don't think he's letting that go just yet.
That's great.
I think you think Joe's going to take it. Yeah.
No, I've fantasy booked the shit out of that. I want him to take that belt. I don't think he will, but I think it's this weird line. Mm-hmm. We'll get to this probably when we do our Extreme Rules predictions next week. Mm-hmm. But I think Joe, when we said it last week, hashtag give Joe the belt.
Yeah.
Because I think he deserves the belt. Mm-hmm. He is a monster.
Yeah.
And I want that demonstrated. Yeah. Because I think if you want,
and he didn't get to show that with the United States.
Because as of right now, there is no big bad guy running for the WWE Championship.
Yeah.
So it's true. Kofi. Like Dolph was there, didn't get it.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens was there. His run was cut short. Mm-hmm. He's off doing other stuff now.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. Give someone a viable threat. Now, there has been rumor mills that, from the likes of Dash has heard firsthand that Shane McMahon has expressed interest in chasing down the WWE Championship. Sort of solidify his best in the world status.
Please no, I'm sick of seeing him.
Yeah, so, and that's a concern. So I think, because Joe could fucking monster Shane McMahon.
Yeah.
So
would you be badass?
Saying that with the assistance of the likes of Drew McIntyre, etc., it wouldn't surprise me if he could get the win over Kofi. He's not get the win over Joe.
Yeah.
So I personally think, because Joe is also a monster, that he will just choke the living shit out of
Shame man.
Out of Kofi. So Kofi will go for trouble, or like one of his big splashes, he'll just grab him out of the sky and wring the air out of his lungs.
Yep, I could see that happening.
And I want that so bad.
Yeah.
I want that
Interesting. Well, next we had Drake Maverick waltzing around with his wifey. She's blindfolded, and he's like talking about shortly we're going to be on a sandy beach in the Bahamas or something like that. She lifts her thing to find out that they're at Raw, and she's straight up like, ultimatum, like, you're obsessed with this title, the 24/7 championship. It's either the title or me. And he's like, babe, of course it's you. We're just having a stop by on our way through, like, transit, ha ha ha. And he cuddles his wife, and next minute R-Truth's standing there, and she goes to bring her head up, and he grabs her back, and R-Truth is like, don't mind me, man. I just love romance. And he like does this, and then starts walking off and singing, and beautiful spot. Truth is just haunting Drake Maverick with this thing now, and it's perfect. This is what we talk about with that perfect booking for the 24/7 championship. Like, this is just beautiful.
Yeah,
it was so freaking good. I love it.
I agree. I think this really demonstrates the benefit of letting these guys do what they want.
Yeah, because it's so great.
It's fantastic. Next up, AJ Styles and the Good Brothers having a big old chat.
Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows.
Mm-hmm.
Again, just lighting fires under each other's asses. Like this is really interesting to see that they seem to be forming their faction again.
Yeah.
You know, something that they had in New Japan, which is really cool to see that the WWE are letting them bring this into this whole thing.
Yeah, well, the club has been around in WWE. 'Cause I think they may have all come in together or something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I can't remember. That's way before my time anyway.
Yeah.
So they're sort of their setting. They have just come back from Japan. They did some house shows in Japan.
They did. Yeah.
So I think they had a bit of that reconnection, that rebinding over there, which is very, very nice. But yeah, here it was just more of them getting the shits up each other, just sort of digging and jabbing, and just sort of.
Carl Anderson
trying to push
bets
him.
his hot Asian wife to AJ Styles. I was like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, the wording of my hot Asian wife.
Yeah, wow.
Because the idea was that they don't think that AJ Styles can beat Ricochet again. After getting, he got the win last week,
but you can't take the title.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Like, yeah, you got the win. Can you get the title? He's like, fuck yeah, I can get the title. That's all I can. Cut to the ringside, and we got No Way Jose doing a Kukonga line with Cesaro in the ring.
The Swedish cyborg. And yeah, Truth is part of the conga line.
Yeah, so back in the end, wearing a Dr. Zeus cat in the hat.
Cowboy boots.
Yeah, and cowboy boots. Truth is part of the conga line. Jumps up on the barrier.
Right in front of Drake. Maverick
rubs all this shit up in front of Drake.
Yeah, starts dancing with Drake wives. Drake's like pissed as, and he's laying on the barrier, and Drake gets up and he's looking at the title, and the wifey gets up. I believe her name is Renee Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
She gets up and she looks at Drake, and he just sort of sits back down slowly. I was like, this is beautiful. And then obviously the Horde come running down the ramp, and Truth is like, damn, gotta go. And he hightails it out in these like cowboy boots.
But yeah, so during this Horde scuffle with No Way Jose on the outside, Cesaro slunks out of the ring, pisses a big loving shit out of No Way Jose.
Beautiful.
Before the bell even ends.
Yeah.
Before the bell starts.
Because he's pissed, clearly. But he just,
because Cesaro is better than No Way Jose.
Yeah.
I don't even know why No Way Jose is getting a shot. My understanding was he was part of the Horde.
Yeah.
Cesaro isn't part of the Horde.
And he looked so different this week. Obviously the green dreads have gone. His hair was in an afro. No bright green pants or anything. I didn't recognize
He's wearing
him.
a shirt vote for Jose.
Yeah.
So very similar to vote for Pedro. A weird, oddly 2004 reference.
I love it.
Of Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, it was definitely a bit of a weird thing, but it was still
weird.
Great. It was still great.
Could have been horrible. Could have been way, way worse. Yeah. Then we get Charlie having an interview with the NXT Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits.
Very interesting. I believe the names are Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford.
Yes, Barrett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
They are fantastic.
They were so much fun. I was like, who are you? And I need to watch this.
Because they are over as shit on NXT.
Yeah.
So what was really interesting here is, they're up. They're is this an official call-up? Are they here as a sort of a guest? Because they kind of come in, just flash their shit around and leave.
Yeah.
Pretty much what they did here. They didn't have a match. They kind of had an interview, but they kind of just dicked their way through the interview.
Yeah.
I think they're amazing.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
They were, singing and dancing and drinking and just having a good old time. And I was just like, I don't know who you are, but I need more of this on my screen.
You need to watch NXT.
Yeah, I definitely need to watch NXT.
So in the big ladder match for the one that got them the belt at TakeOver 25, I think it was.
Yeah.
These guys really held their own, because it was the Forgotten Sons. So it was the Forgotten Sons, the Undisputed Era, the Street Profits. I think that was it. There was a three tag team ladder match.
Yeah.
I think it was. But yeah, no, they were brilliant. They held their own. They're fantastic, and they totally deserve that win.
Awesome.
So yeah, I hope this doesn't mean a call up. Simply because, the Viking Raiders, or as they were at the time, the War Raiders, were then pulled up and forced to vacate their NXT belts, tag team belts, and then putting them down there. So I hope that isn't happening, because that would be a whole bunch of shit for NXT.
I feel like it's just a bit more of a push for NXT. I think it's just.
I think it was knowing who comes up later. They pretty much got a little taste for all the brands here.
Yeah.
Because I think they sort of knew that with the announcement of the Paul Heyman,
Yeah.
Eric Bischoff stuff, and they mentioned that Paul, although not exclusively running this show, would have a say and have his hands on it.
Yeah.
I think that would have got a higher rating.
Yeah.
And this was enough. They did some things here to try entice people to go check out NXT, go check out 205, go check out SmackDown.
Definitely.
Speaking of SmackDown, we have Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre making their way into the ring. Before they get into the ring, there is some blonde chick whose name I didn't catch.
Sarah.
Sarah interviews The Miz.
Yes. Yep. She, basically asking how do you feel about it? Like, how are you feeling? Obviously, last week he got his ass handed to him. How do you feel about this 2 out of 3 falls match? 2 out of 3 falls match.
With Elias.
The rematch. And the Miz is like, I'm not worried. I heard the Undertaker's floating around tonight. I was like, ooh. Because obviously we do know that Shane and Drew are heading to the ring to address the rumors of the Undertaker being there tonight.
Yeah, and
so
responding to last week where he randomly just appeared out of nowhere.
Beautiful.
To the aid of Roman.
Yeah, exactly it. So this brings us to the ring where Shane and Drew do enter. And as always, Shane has to show a throwback video for his amusement this time of them just like brutalizing poor Roman Reigns. And then, they claim that they're not afraid of the Undertaker. They'll take him on head on. Drew's is like, you strike fear into everybody that you meet and rah, rah, rah. Well, you know what? I'm not afraid because, Drew's never afraid and Shane's not afraid because Drew's not afraid and same shit, different week. To this, suddenly like the lights start to flicker and it's like there's a storm or something going outside and we hear like thunder crack and then it goes black and there's a big lightning strike and I was like, ugh! And like
old school special effects.
Yeah, they're like, it looks like they're prepping for the Undertaker to just show up, which he doesn't do because they do call him out. They're like, come to the ring. You can either walk down or you can just pop up. Your choice, Taker. And then his music hits and it's going forever and nothing's happening and everybody's standing there and Shane and Drew are just like mocking him and things like that, and then next minute out comes the Phenom, the dead man, the Undertaker, and he just so staunchly just like slowly makes his way to the ring, and like his entrance is so long and it's so annoying to an extent, but you're engaged the whole time because it is the Phenom. Like you're just like, holy shit, here comes the Undertaker.
The Undertaker does bring a presence. He brings a power. The
only gimmick that's ever
like truly,
it
is the most successful gimmick.
Definitely.
Unquestionably.
And it's the best. Like, even when he was the American Badass for a while there, like he was still so freaking good. And it was just perfect. But Shane and Drew were crying, we're not afraid. But then Shane like pushes Drew out of the ring.
Yeah, they all scoot down the ring.
into the crowd.
So Taker does come into the ring and grabs the mic and addresses them both, saying that, Roman Reigns didn't ask for my help here.
Yeah.
So he came sort of in the goodness of his heart, I guess, which is weird because he's Undertaker.
He claims that he is the Reaper of
the Reaper of wayward souls, and he's here to collect the souls of Shane and
Drew. Yes, because this whole best in the world has sort of made Shane sort of lose his way, and the Undertaker's here to reap that.
Yeah, I did like that. So you may be the best of the best in this world.
Yeah, that was so beautiful. It's like you're gonna be nobody wherever you go.
Yeah, where I send you, you'll be a nobody.
It was so good. Like the Undertaker, again, he speaks so slow, but that's the whole thing of the gimmick, and it's just every word he says, it truly does strike fear into you. Drew didn't budge, obviously. He's just staring the man down like he wants to eat him. But Shane's just like, oh shit. Like you can see in his eyes, he's like afraid.
What I love about this is just simply that they pull out Hall of Famers. Well, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer yet. When they pull out these legends, right? And a lot of the time when they pull legends, their stories almost exist in vacuums. Like if you think about Triple H and Batista, like that match and all the promos for it literally connected to nothing.
Yeah.
Like there was no connection of anyone else other than Batista and Triple H.
Yeah.
So by having Taker come here and get involved with current superstars,
So good.
hell yeah, this is
Yeah.
awesome. Personally, I think I'm not sure how I think Drew may get the pin on Roman here again.
Yeah.
And then we'll see Drew v Taker at SummerSlam.
That would be cool. That would be definitely cool. And like as we know,
But
like
would that be the retirement match for Taker?
I don't know.
Like we've seen Shane
'Cause
versus
I
Taker
think-
before, so that
Yeah.
was a Hell in a Cell a couple years ago.
Yeah. I think it was
WrestleMania
2016.
in a Hell in a
Shane.
Cell.
Yeah. Shane's debut match. He got his ass handed to him by Undertaker.
Yeah, after a 7-year absence or something. Yeah.
Yeah, after being out for 7 years. I think maybe this could end up in some sort of rematch to that, which I'd rather it didn't, but I feel like it's going that way because obviously Shane, Heat, yada, yada, yada. It'll be like the whole Baron Corbin, the man who retired Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. Man, give me.
Well, because that's one of the things I've been discussing now. For those that follow our other shows, so Josh on a Monday, he's fallen on this Reddit train.
Uh-huh.
I have joined this Reddit train because if you go to the subreddit for Squared Circle, which is the big wrestling chat, now because it's all heavily moderated and everyone in there is a mark, so there's really good properly fact based, sort of informed opinion wrestling discussions.
Bring
there.
it.
So I put up the idea of hey, how should the Taker go out? So some people with some really funny ass comments in there as well, which is great. Because I was like the idea of should it be someone with a gimmick like Aleister Black, like Demon Balor, like Bray Wyatt? So should they then cross the mantle of that supernatural gimmick? Should it just be someone in a plain old match? Obviously, is it going to put one of these guys over? If it was going to be what heel would you put over? It's interesting responses. People said brought Kane back and put the brother feud again. One theory was that Taker would just eat a massive plate of nachos out the back and it would end with him going, holy shit, and then it cuts to black and we never see him again.
See, I love the Kane idea, but unfortunately I know for a fact it's never going to happen because
Kane's fucking old.
No, because he is the mayor of somewhere.
Yeah, but he's the mayor of Knox County. But he was also the mayor when he came over for Super Showdown.
Did he?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I think he's in his second term right now.
Okay, interesting.
But yeah, so that'd be interesting to see, if with Taker constantly being wheeled out.
Yeah.
I personally want to see him retire soon. Not in a I'm bored of the Undertaker. The Undertaker's always going to be fantastic.
I think he's
but
ready
it's
to
more
let
of
it
a
go.
I think
Pass the torch.
I think your time's done, dude.
And I think
looking at looking at this Super Show and the one in Saudi Arabia, and watching him take on Goldberg, it was like you've hit a limit here.
Yeah.
And so was Goldberg. And Goldberg was truly the problem here.
Yeah.
But it just demonstrates that these legends, as awesome as they are, they need that time away.
Mm-hmm.
And Taker certainly needs that spot right now, and he needs to have a sleep. So maybe a coffin match or a burial match, because if they want to truly bring in that Attitude Era aspect that they're apparently going for now, give him a gimmick match.
They 100% need something like it.
Yeah. So next up, we got a backstage promo of Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin. Lacey Evans dicking about in the mirror. Baron Corbin just stand there having a chat. They confirm that the match for the belts at Extreme Rules, so a mixed gender tag match of Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. Winners take all.
It's a namesake match.
It's a what?
It's a namesake match.
It's an extreme match.
Yeah, a namesake, Extreme Rules.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like, huh? That's where we're going. But yeah, no, it's an Extreme Rules match. So that'd be interesting. So that means, no disqualifications, no limits. I think it's only, so whether there'll be weapons or not, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? But that'll be badass. I'm really excited. We typically know with mixed gender matches that it is female first, female, man worst, male. But I can 100% see Becky Lynch, putting the beat down on Baron Corbin.
Well, this is one of the things, they've done this in the past. When Ronda Rousey debuted, she beat the piss out of Triple H for a little bit. We saw the likes of, Nia Jax around Royal Rumble. They were dropping the teaser, sort of like the idea of mixed gender matches.
Yeah.
Where Randy Orton fucking like RKO's the shit out of her.
Yeah.
Dolph super kicked her. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was so good.
But like they've showed both sides. They've showed a woman beating on a dude, and they've also shown a dude beating on a woman. So it's speaking of, I thought a very interesting tweet today by Joey Ryan. Talked about the idea of intergender matches, and he goes, if people are uncomfortable with the idea of intergender matches because it apparently demonstrates domestic violence, what does that mean for all the same-sex couples that are out there? So it's this idea of like, if anything, if all matches would therefore demonstrate domestic violence, and then
true.
Should wrestling exist? Then it's like, no, because it's a stupid argument.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
So it's an interesting discussion, but we'll get to that come Extreme Rules. So Natalia is up next, having a match with the Lacey Evans with Baron Corbin ringside. What do you think?
It was all right. Like, it was. We're seeing more and more of Lacey's athleticism with that, which I like. We're seeing,
because her promo at the start there was pretty on point.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. Yeah, she's getting better, and I appreciate that. She's learning, she's doing good. I was immediately pissed by the concept of Baron Corbin being ringside, because I knew immediately he was going to interrupt at some point, because it's Baron Corbin and they're showing their teamwork and how they're a power couple. I love watching Natty in the ring. She is so, so good. Obviously, she does have the Hart Dynasty bloodline. But yeah, it was great until Baron Corbin swept Natalia's leg, which caused Lacey to capitalize with a brutal woman's right.
And then getting the pin for the 1, 2, 3.
It was good. I didn't mind it.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
It was good. Like, it was great to see Natalia again. We haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah.
And even though we kind of knew, as you said, with Baron ringside, she's going to take an L here. But like, I think she did fine.
It was definitely good. She definitely held her own, which was awesome. Like, so the match wasn't super quick, or I guess it didn't feel rushed, which was nice. But yeah, like, it was good. Like, I'm happy to sort of see, obviously we're seeing some teamwork between Baron and Lacey, which is nice. They're not going into this completely blind. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah,
it was also all right. So after that, we get an ad break, and then with AJ Styles having a chat to the Good Brothers once again. This time they're talking about the old AJ. How the old AJ wouldn't take this shit. He'd walk up to Ricochet and fucking smack him in the face.
Actually, we do get it's Ricochet backstage, and Hogan and the Writer are talking to Ricochet first. Yeah, so they're talking to Ricochet. I did miss that, my bad. Charlie does interrupt.
Actually, I've got it right here. So having a chat with Charlie and the Good Brothers come in. So they're essentially playing both sides here. Yeah. They're like, yeah, and they're over here and go, yeah.
Yeah, Charlie does ask what Ricochet thinks about AJ saying, Ricochet's not up to his level and stuff like that. And Ricochet's like, I looked over the thing, I could have fixed some mistakes. And they're like, mistakes? And they start digging into Ricochet. And he's like, I don't want trouble, guys, but if you're looking for a fight, I'll defend this title anytime, anywhere. And they're like, oh, you're not having any trouble with us, but you might be with somebody else. And I was like, they're going to go run to AJ, twist Ricochet's words.
And then be like, Ricochet said you're a butt.
He said you said this, and then you said that, and then he said this, and
you should fight him. You should fight him after school.
Yeah, I'm going to text the teachers. I'll text everybody to come watch you do it. But yeah, it was so dumb, but it was so good. I honestly, I love how the Good Brothers are doing this playing sides things, because like the minute I saw them talking the way they were talking and how they'd been talking to AJ earlier in the night, I was like, they are setting AJ up to just turn hard. And you know what? I'm all for it, because personally I believe AJ is better as a bad guy than he is as a good guy. So I was like, this is gonna like create this faction again, like they're all pushing each other to be like the best bad guys you can be. So I was like, oh, I can't wait to see what this brings later on. Like, they're totally going to go running to AJ like, he said this.
So after this little pep talk with the Good Brothers, AJ does get sort of pushed to a point to go over to Ricochet and be like, oi, I want to punch you for the belt. And he's like, you know what? I'll punch you for the belt to keep the belt.
Yeah.
And then he gets fucking whacked in the side of the face. And
Ricochet's like, dude, I don't know why you're so hostile, but if you want, like, I accept your challenge. Like, let's do this. And then AJ just gives them, like, because like you said, the Good Brothers were like, oh, the old AJ wouldn't do this. He would have slapped him in the face. So AJ just like, bam, like, man, vicious
how
slap.
How fucking peer pressure does AJ want me? They could have been like, the old AJ would have gave us $20.
And he just hands him. That's pretty much it. It is peer pressure, but I think it's one of those, like, in the back of AJ's head, he's like, you know what? I want to do this. Like, you know, AJ's sort of, he's realized this good guy shtick hasn't gotten him anywhere as far as championships go.
Not true. So, he had it for like.
Oh no, but you know what I mean.
Days.
Like lately, like it's really not doing so great for him. So it's like maybe this might be better.
Maybe
if
it's
I
one
have
of those
some
things.
people
Like
behind
maybe,
me.
If anything, it's for him realizing there's like,
if Kofi can do it,
this
I can do
good
it.
guy shit isn't going to work here at Raw.
Yeah.
Like, it worked at SmackDown. I was champion for 370 days or whatever.
Yeah.
But here it's something else.
Yeah.
Like here, like it is, as the name suggests, it's more Raw.
Yeah.
So he needs to bring out the beast, the fighter, you know, the viciousness.
Yeah.
Like anyone that's, you know, probably like showing any minor weakness here on Raw will get divorced.
Yeah. And what I loved is that just without hesitation, Ricochet just slapped him back.
Yeah, that was rad.
And then he didn't show any sign of being hurt until afterwards. I was like, oh, my jaw. But I was just like, oh, give me all of this. Like, this is going to go so bad after the match, whatever the result. And I am so ready for it.
Next, we had Elias sitting in the middle of the ring, and he literally barely
one
strums.
strum, and then I came to play.
Yeah, so then the Miz comes out to join the party as well. This is, as we mentioned, for the 2 out of 3 falls match.
The rematch from last week.
Yeah, no, it was interesting. So the Miz got the first fall in about 40 seconds.
Yeah, straight up. First fall, like, straight away, like, brilliant. And it was like, just as I was saying, they're just like, the announcer's like, oh, we will have an ad break after the second fall. And I was like, these 2 falls are going to happen quickly. And then bam, Miz has got Elias in it.
And then
skull-crushing finale straight up. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, and then shortly after, Elias comes in and gets the same drop.
And
with
then, the drift away,
the drift away, yes. And then again, Miz gets the figure 4 for the win over Elias.
Yeah, so Elias does, like, he goes for a knee on the Miz, and the Miz jumps out of the way on the apron, and he brutal, like, smack to the ringside with Elias's knee. So obviously the Miz just throws him straight into the ring, capitalizes with a figure 4, and Elias taps out. Yeah, good. It was good. It was fast paced. It didn't feel like it was stunted. It was great. It's good to see the Miz get the up as well. I was really excited to see Miz get a win. So
I still think Miz can do better than Elias in terms of a feud or a competitor at this point. But I'm sure that'll change in time. Like, we'll see someone else.
Well, yeah, we can still see him claiming the whole unfinished business with the Shane thing. So.
Yeah, I do think that's very much done. But that's fine.
Yeah.
Next, backstage interview with Charlie having a chat to Becky and Seth.
Yep. Obviously, everybody has concerns whether this their personal relationship is going to affect their professional relationship as far as it comes to these titles. The banter between these two was absolutely brilliant. Like, you know, like Becky's like, you know, you better not lose my title. It's like, you better not lose my title. And she's like, yeah, you better not, because I sleep with this thing. And like Seth's like, she really does, Charlie. It's a problem. Like, it's just little things like that was super, super hilarious. Like, she's like, oh, you know, Seth, obviously you just agreed to this match without asking anything. Like, do you think that was a bit impulsive? He's like, me? Impulsive, Charlie? I'm never impulsive. Tell him, Bex. And she's like, psh, him? Psh, nah. Psh, impulsive? Nah. Psh. He's never impulsive. And it was just like, she went on for ages, and it was just so beautifully done. And like their whole exchange, like, I love these two. I love Seth and Becky so much. And it was just so, so beautiful. And then the pinnacle for me, Maria Kanellis just waltzes in, all like brooding faced, and I was like, Maria! Because again,
you're a big Maria fan.
I'm a huge Maria fan from way back when she had that dumb shtick and that little romance with John Cena, and she was like stupid, like the whole like, I forgot my question. Like, she was such an idiot back in the day, and you know, nobody tell her to her face she was stupid. But John Cena, like, one time was like, oh, you look good and you look good. Yeah. Like, it's just so great to see her like thriving as like not a shtick anymore and being the most authentic Maria. She's so good at what she does.
Yeah.
She can talk really well.
Like, although we don't watch 205, apparently her and Mike have a good old time down there.
I watch a lot of the videos of them. I don't know what it is about Maria. I'm just obsessed with her and always have been.
Yeah, so I remember because I watched this before you did.
Yes.
And I didn't tell you. Because
Yes.
I saw it and I was like, oh, Jem's going to piss her pants.
I was so excited. I messaged you like, oh my God, Maria. And she comes in obviously talking about you two think you're the power couple.
The first power couple.
The first power couple just because you've got titles. Like, we are the first power couple. Like, they walk to the ring holding hands and all that cutesy shit. And she's like, you know, you think you got a title, that's a huge accomplishment. She's like, I pushed an 8-pound baby out of my uterus. I think I deserve a title for that. And then she's like, how about me and my bitch take on you, Seth, and yours? No. And I was like, she just called him her bitch? And again, saying bitch
Fucking
on TV,
Mike's
I was just
buried,
like, I love this. But yeah, it ends up being a match. Maria and Mike Kanellis versus Seth and Becky, which they get in the ring, and Seth just dominates Mike Kanellis like straight away. And like Maria's like yelling, get in there, get up, you know, and like she's like hammering him, and I was like, oh, she's an abusive wife. I don't know how I feel about her anymore. And then Seth forces a tag in of Maria, so she has to get in the ring and face Becky, and she's like, as Becky comes for her, she like ducks out of the ring and gets a microphone, and she's screaming and yelling, and she's like, no, like I'm pregnant. And Becky's like, whoa. And she's like, I'm pregnant. I'm really pregnant. And Becky's like, and she walks over and like pats her tummy and she's like, and walks away. And Mike's like, you're pregnant? And he's all shocked and stuff. And he's like, how? And she's like, I don't know, because clearly you're not man enough. You said you could beat Seth, like hands down, no worries about it, not even breaking a sweat. And look at you now, like. And like she's yelling at him, and then Becky just sort of gets over it and like rips Mike Kanellis over the ropes and like gets him in the disarmer, which she taps out. And then Marie gets in the ring and she's just hurling abuse at Mike. She's like,
buries the fuck out of him.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know how I got pregnant to you. You're not even a real man. Next time I want to get like pregnant again, I'll go find Becky and get the man to impregnate me. And I was just like, this is just gold. And she storms out, and like I knew straight away because when she was wearing her jacket, I noticed she had a bit of a bump, and I was like, Maria's usually pretty like thin. Like so when she announced it, I was like, oh, that explains a lot. But yeah, she just buried poor Mike, and I felt horrible for him. I was like, I love you guys. You guys are like the power couple of the entire WWE. And aww, I'm so sad now, Maria. Why? I'm so sad. I love them, and I'm sad. But the whole like, I'll get the man Becky Lynch to impregnate me was beautiful.
She's saying that though, this also felt incredibly Attitude Era. Like having who's the baby's daddy feels so that beautiful soap opera that WWE can be.
Yeah, it was so good.
Although I don't watch 205 and I probably won't. If this becomes a storyline at 205, fuck yeah.
I am so excited. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Next up, we get Paul Heyman sitting at the back. He's having a little promo chat. Was it with Charlie?
Yeah, with Charlie.
He's having a chat about Brock Lesnar. Doing his little spiel. Very orange, Paul Heyman, might I add.
Yeah, he's very tan.
And then they get talked about the Street Profits coming in and doing some stupid shit.
Brock's here? Brock, where's Brock? They're like excited to meet Brock Lesnar. I was like, you guys are messed up, and like grabbing at Paul's tie and stuff like that. Again, like they were only there for a couple of seconds, but they were so good.
Yeah, they have such an impact by being there.
Yeah, Paul like freaks out and is like, are you done here? I've got places to be. I'm a busy man.
I got business to do.
And then he tries to walk behind one of them. He's like, I'm going to go this way. Like, Paul's so easily intimidated, and I love it.
Yeah.
He's so good at it. But yeah, beautiful.
Next up, we get a moment of bliss. With Alexa Bliss having a chat to Nikki Cross.
Finally, Nikki's her guest.
Alexa Bliss rocking something, looking fantastic as always.
In a ring gear.
In a beautiful PopC purple ring gear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once again, thank you, Alexa. We know you watch. You're a champ.
Hi, Lexi. So she's obviously, Nikki's like, I just want to say thank you. You've been amazing to me. And she's like, no, none of that. She's like, we're here for you. This is about you. This is your moment of bliss, which I thought was super cute. But yeah, Carmella does come out and interrupt, and she's like, this is all sweet and all, but, Nikki, you're the one who beat Bayley. You're the one, but Alexa's the one with the title shot. She's like, what's the dealio? And obviously she gets a bit angry. She's like, oh, of course you're going to come out here and ruin somebody else's moment. Like Alexa's like going off at Carmella. And she's like, I used to think you were fabulous, Mella, but I've realized you're literally just Truth's sidekick. Like SIDEKICK. And Mella's like, well, how about I show you a sidekick when I take you down to the ring and like kick you upside the head. And then she starts ripping off her earrings real Jersey style. She's like, let's go. She pulls off her jacket and Alexa's like, okay. So they make their way to the ring. Match gets underway. Straight away, Mella gets just this beautiful clean sweep roll up on Alexa. 1, 2, 3. Alexa's done.
Yeah, mushed.
Yeah.
Like seconds,
In
like
seconds.
holy actual shit fast.
In seconds. So then for some god unknown bloody reason, like Nikki Cross is now versing Carmella. They go to an ad break. They come back. Nikki Cross versus Carmella. Obviously, Nikki Cross gets the upper hand. We do know, like, Nikki's she's on a roll.
Yes.
She's 100% on a roll.
Sorry, I'm just responding to because just much Josh going, hey, the Patreon feed's live, right? I'm like, yes, I know it's live.
I know.
Hey, Josh.
But yeah, so Nikki obviously beats Mella, which I'm stoked about because we're seeing more of Nikki. She's getting more over. I love her. I love that everybody else is loving her. Like, but this does cut to backstage where Alexa and Nikki are walking backstage. Obviously, Alexa's like, oh my God, you beat Mella. You're so good. You're so good. And then Sarah walks up and she's like, Nikki, how do you feel that the WWE universe have expressed that they want you facing Bayley for the title instead of Alexa? And Alexa was like, no comment, and just shoves Nikki out of the way. And I was just like, oh, shit's about to go down. I am 100% for that. I am with the universe here. I want to see Nikki versus Bayley. Nikki has earned this. What did Alexa do? She went to Japan while Nikki won her title match. Like, come on now. Fight your own
title
battles.
opportunity.
Title opportunity. Fight your own fights. Like, you're a big girl. I know she's your friend, but she's not yet. It's like a bodyguard thing, It's like the Drew McIntyre to Shane McMahon. Like, he wins his matches for him. Yeah, what do you think?
I'm down with it, man. As I said, like I enjoy where they're going with this Alexa Bliss Nikki Cross thing. I do certainly think it's going to lead to a betrayal because that's Alexa Bliss.
That's Alexa Bliss's
and I
history.
do want Nikki Cross to sort of got a more toned down character here than she had in the likes of NXT. So I think it's cool. It would be this cool moment to give her that moment of unleash. Like once she gets burnt by Alexa, she'll unleash what put her into sanity. And sort of like crazy.
I'm excited to see her grow.
Yeah.
She's doing great.
Very, very cool. Next up, we get another spot with Drake Maverick and his new wife. Yeah. So it looks like they're about to leave the building.
Yes, they got their bags
they're about to leave the building. Suitcases ready to rock and roll. As they're standing there, like, about to head out, whatever. Horde come fanging past. Around the corner. And so they stop and she's like, I'm just going to go to the bathroom, I think she said. So she leaves away, leaves Drake there by himself. Horde runs past and then Truth comes out from behind a little shelf. And he's like, woo! Oh, man. I got chased by that. And then he like spots Drake. He's like, oh, hey, man. He's like, look, no.
I just want to go on my honeymoon.
I just want to go on my honeymoon. That's it. Just let me be. You do what you gotta do. He's like, all right, man, enjoy your time away, Drake. Walks away. Next thing, suitcase to the back of the head. Yeah. I need a referee. 1, 2, 3. Drake Maverick is your second time. Like, he's the second highest 24/7 holding man guy.
Yeah. And he's just like, guess what, honey? I know we said we were going to have a great honeymoon, but now we're going to do it 24/7 publicly. He's like, forget my bags. Let's go. And he like hauls ass with
But I love it, because he goes to go for his bag and Truth kind of gets him. He's like, don't worry about it. And then just...
Yeah, just runs. Truth shuffles. He's like, shit. And then they disappear.
That's
so
true.
Truth is now without his title again.
Yeah, so then we get the AJ Styles versus Ricochet match for the US Championship.
The main event.
Now, I'm just going to mention, it's awesome to see the US Championship as a main event match.
Yeah, for the second week in a row, I believe.
Potential.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was main event last week.
It may have been, but it wasn't for a belt. The point I'm making here is,
previously,
anytime they do some sort of big belt match. It's not like in terms of the main event. It's normally the WWE Championship or it's Universal Championship. The mid card belts do tend to get buried. Prior to Ricochet having it, the United States Championship was certainly getting buried. So this is really good. Totally good fun.
It was so good and a phenomenal match as always. Like AJ and Ricochet are phenomenal competitors, and like I honestly believe nobody can wrestle like AJ can wrestle. But like, oh damn, it was just so good. I was engaged the whole time. But yeah, it ends up like.
So what essentially happens? It does go to a pretty solid, very good 3-4 minute match, and AJ does drop a phenomenal forearm on Ricochet. But during the counting of the pin, Ricochet does manage to get his boot under the rope, therefore breaking the count. However, the referee didn't spot it.
Didn't see it, so he still counted
they're like,
it.
hey, so they give AJ the belt. About to put his hands up. Second referee comes out and be like, nah, bro.
Contested. His foot's clearly under.
Yeah.
So they do a review. They restart the match after the break.
Yes, have an ad break, come back.
The Good Brothers
are ringside. They're restarting the match.
They're just observing, apparently.
So they're restarting the match. Go to bus all over again. This time Ricochet does win with a fucking awesome pin.
Yeah. Absolutely beautiful.
It's kind of like one of those big body spin around thingies. Just push, and then 1, 2, 3. Ricochet continues to be your United States champion. During all this comes down, similar to what we've seen in the past, AJ does stand up, extends his hand to Ricochet as a let's be bros, have a shake.
Yeah, and then the Good Brothers like ridicule AJ about it, which AJ just snaps.
And then proceeds to fucking endorse Ricochet.
Yeah, which the Good Brothers join in on. And immediately, as soon as I saw that, I just typed in big capital letters, "Heel AJ, woo!"
Yeah. So they start mushing the floor with Ricochet, and Ricochet's not looking good.
No,
there is a what's it called? Not Styles Clash from the second row.
Yeah, vicious.
Yeah, some gnarly stuff. And then as Gallows and Anderson are standing there, popping the 2 sweets in the air, AJ puss.
Yeah.
The Balor Club return. That's not the Balor Club.
Bullet Club.
The club. Not the Bullet Club because that's external. But the club.
The
club returns.
And then fade to black.
Yeah, they said the club rides again. I'm like, that sounds dumb. So I'm writing the club returns.
Woo.
Is what I wrote because the club does return.
Yeah, I am all for it. Bring it the heck on. I love Anderson and Gallows. I'm excited to see more of them. I'm excited to see AJ be a bad guy again. I am just excited. This was a phenomenal Raw. Phenomenal. So many good points. Few meh. But overall, it was phenomenal.
See, across the board, this felt fresh. Like, I know that there could be some inherent biases there as we're under the illusion, like the placebo effect that Heyman was here having a role. But there were so many things here that just felt different in a good way. Yes. It felt shot different. Like, just some of the set pieces were different. Like, the way it came together felt different. Having the blends of your 205s and your NXT coming up and becoming a part of this was brilliant. And, setting up these storylines that leak out of this Raw was great. Having some really good fucking pyro at the start and like this really awesome like setup without a video package.
Yeah,
brilliant. This is if this is where Raw is going. Raw, like they are going to.
It's the right direction.
It's the right direction. Will it return them to their former glory? I don't believe so, but I think it's certainly the right idea.
Yeah. Definitely. They're on the right path. I am all for it. Old school me is fully engaged. Yeah.
So let us know what you thought of this week's episode of Raw in the comments below. Of course, you can hear us on Twitter as well as Discord channel. Now, as we do every week, we rate our episodes. So we rate the episode of WWE TV by using the Kurt Angle system, because Kurt Angle looks like a thumb. You get 2 thumbs. You get
Sorry.
2 thumbs, and if it's a half, you get the bar. So how do you rate this week's episode of Raw?
It's a yes from me, dog. 2 Kurt Angles.
Yeah, 2 Kurt Angles here too.
100%.
It felt fantastic. As I said, there was just so much good here. But once again, it's that weird line of, because we've had so much shit for a long time, even something mildly better is like, yep.
Yeah.
And that's a good and a bad thing, of course.
Yes.
Yep. Moving on to the next episode, the next show, which was SmackDown. This one took place in San Antonio, Texas. Now, annoyingly, this did start with a video package.
Of course it
video
did.
package of the Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman pushdown on Raw. And then it did, so it was just kind of recapping the awesome moment that happened. So this does become a thread here on SmackDown, where it's just highlighting shit that happened on Raw, and that was very annoying.
Yes.
But that's always been SmackDown's problem.
Yeah.
Next,
That's why they're always in the shadows.
yeah, so Kevin Owens does make his way into the ring for a Kevin Owens show, for a KO show with Shane and Drew. Once again, it was, I have Shane and Drew here, and this is a video package. This was same old shit.
Yeah. Yeah, Shane gives the whole, I'm not scared, and I'm so not scared that this is going to be a no-holds-barred match.
Yeah.
Of course it is Shane. Just same shit. He asks for the intro, as always, which I'm so sick of hearing. But yeah, when they're showing the video...
because we should mention here that apparently Bischoff had nothing to do with this episode. He's coming in later. He's coming out, I think, post-Extreme Rules.
Thank God. But yeah, obviously, Shane's KO's I want to show a video. I want you to see this. And he re-shows when Shane and Drew go running. And he's like, if you're so not scared, Shane, how did you end up in the fourth row of the crowd? How does that work? And Shane's like, be a good host, do what you're asked, ask the questions you're supposed to ask. And he's like, how do you feel about your match with the Undertaker? I love how the cue card thing that Kevin Owens does. It's you know what? These are crappy questions. I've got a really good question here. Actually, hold on. Let me. He's like, how do you feel about the fact that when you came back in 2016 after a 7-year hiatus, you had your ass handed to you at WrestleMania by The Undertaker? And Shane's just Drew's this interview's over, and throws a chair. And then as they're having this bit of a scuffle, Dolph Ziggler walks out. And KO drops the best, no, you don't get to come out of here, and it should have been you, it should have been me, it should have been this, it should have been that. He's
it was beautiful, it should have been me, and yeah, it should have been you 8 years ago, and it was, for a little bit, but you fucked it. Now,
and he's just get over it, and everybody's KO!
Face Kevin!
So good. He's you want a shot of the title, I want a shot of the title, why don't we let management decide who gets a shot of the title? And Shane's just neither of you. Just so blatantly none of us. But if you want a title so badly, so many tag teams have done it in the past, enemies become friends. He's you guys converse heavy machinery tonight, and the winner of that match is going to be interjected into the tag team title match at Extreme Rules as a third party, as the triple threat tag team title match. And they're just well, shit. And they're yelling at each other in the ring, and oh, there was a beautiful line there where Dolph was, this is the best part. Dolph's the only he's I'm the peak physique, whereas you look like all you've done has been eating in hot dog contests. And KO's yeah, and if I was in a hot dog contest, I'd win, which is more than you can say about wrestling. Yeah. I was just yes, KO. It was so good. But yeah, obviously Shane and Drew hightail it, and it's just KO and Dolph face to face. Well, they just got to deal with it. And KO's this is my show. Play my music so I can get out of here. And then just.
Now, because I was making dinner as I was watching SmackDown before we came in, that's all the notes I have.
Yeah. Well, we do get Kayla is backstage as Rowan and Daniel Bryan are walking. She grabs them and she's how do you feel about this reaction? How do you react to this now being a triple threat at Extreme Rules? And Brian's mathematically the odds are against us now. Shane doesn't exactly make the best business decisions, but he is in charge and we have to do as he says. We're pissed, but we're still going to walk out of there champions. And leaves it at that. Backstage, Kayla does pop up to Big E and Xavier Woods, who are in the backstage position right next to the ring. And she's obviously we've just heard about this triple threat match. It's now Daniel Bryan, you guys, and whoever wins this match. How do you guys feel about it? And they say essentially the same thing. This puts the odds against us even more because we don't even have to be pinned to not be able to win. And they sort of take the microphone off Kayla and sort of shush her off. And they're but we'll do it. The odds have always been against us, and look how we always come out, type thing. And then they get into their intro, the whole San Antonio.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful. It's so much fun to watch them actually do that live, because they do have, it is Big E versus, is it a tag match?
No. Big E versus Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, Big E versus Daniel Bryan. Obviously, Woods in Big E's corner, Rowan in Daniel Bryan's corner. So yeah, they come out for this match. Good match. Did enjoy it. As always, I was like, here we go. The Redwood's gonna get involved, which at some point he does. I think Big E gets thrown out of the ring by Daniel Bryan at some point. And then he goes for the attack, which is Xavier Woods tries to get him. Excuse me. And I'm just dying.
Do you need more water?
No, I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah, but they get a bit of a doors on, and then Ron gets the Iron Claw on Xavier Woods, and Rowan sort of gets Big E back in the ring, and then Daniel Bryan gets the flying knee for the win. So yeah, good. I'm sick of seeing Rowan interrupt. We know Daniel Bryan is a good competitor. We know he can win on his own. And I'm sick of the interruptions. I really am. But that's another thing. You didn't really get to see much of that, did you?
No, this match was right in dinner peak cooking.
Yeah.
For the wife and child. So no, I missed this match.
So next we cut backstage to Kayla with R-Truth. She's like, let's take a look.
I saw this part though.
Yeah. She's like, let's take a look at what happened last night at Raw. And Truth is like, no, don't do that. And she's like, no, Truth, let's take a look. He's like, no, don't do that. And she's like, no, we're going to take a look. Just to tell him he's doing this. So obviously they show what happened with Drake Maverick winning the title again. And Truth starts talking about, he's like, I was going to go on a honeymoon once and then I couldn't because we were stuck somewhere.
No.
No, it was raining. Anyway, we were going to go on a honeymoon. But then, I heard Hornswoggle's going on his honeymoon and, they say three is better than two. So, I heard he's here tonight in San Antonio, Texas. So that's why I'm here to find him. I love that he still calls Drake Maverick Hornswoggle.
I still like that he calls it the 48-7 European TV Championship.
This one tonight he called it the 7-11 European TV Championship. So he changes it up, which I love. He's like, Mr. 7-11 European TV Championship, I'm coming for you. It was just great. But then this cuts back to Alexa and Nikki walking backstage. And Alexa just sort of stops and she's going like this with her finger. And she's like, you know what? Nikki, you're going to host a moment of bliss tonight. That's what you're going to do. And she's like, no, I've never hosted anything. And Alexa's like, no, you deserve this. This is your moment. You're going to do that. So Nikki's like, okay. And Nikki comes out to host a moment of bliss. Who their guest for the night is WWE SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley. Nikki does sit there. She's like, guys, as you can hear, I'm from a little place called Glasgow in Scotland. I have a wee bit of an accent, so I'm going to talk a bit slower so I can be the best host I can be for you, which I thought was great. Obviously, they typically have very fast-spoken accents.
Yeah, so
very thick.
My stepfather is also Glaswegian, so for him, he has that speed and that thickness, and she has the same speed and thickness, but obviously not like my stepfather, which is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so credit to her, unlike my stepfather, who uses all the Scottish slang that comes with it, which sounds like gibberish to anyone that hasn't listened. I've listened to the last what feels like the last 15 years, longer than that, 20 years. So it's been a very long time. So when she's talking normally, I'm just like, yeah,
I get you.
I gotcha. I got you, fam. But for others, they'd be like, I know what the hell she said.
Yeah.
So it was actually really jarring for me to have her talk slower.
Yeah.
It kind of caught me off guard. It broke her cadence. It was really weird.
Yeah, but obviously Bayley comes out and Bayley's like, I'm impressed that Alexa's giving you the spotlight, and Nikki's like, why are you calling Alexa a liar? Bayley's like, 'cause she is. And she's like, I'm sick of you dragging Alexa's name through the dirt. It's gonna stop now. And Bayley's like, I got a question for you. Why is it that you beat me in the ring last week? Right here, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. And you bet Carmella.
And you bet Carmella last night. But Alexa's the one with the title shot. And Nikki's like, you know what I want to know? Why aren't you fighting me right now in that ring? Yeah. And Bayley's like, okay. Nikki goes running down to the ring. Bayley follows. And we get a match after the ad break. Good match. It was obviously
I dug it. I dug it.
It was a bit of a rematch from last week, but it was really cool to see. It's always good to see Nikki in the ring. She's really good.
Agreed.
Agreed. Yeah. And Bayley's good too. It was really good to sort of see Bayley willingly defending her title, just like, yep, sure, all right, let's do this. Like, Bayley just had no
Good fighting
reservations about it. Yeah, exactly it. Total good fighting champ.
Well, this wasn't a title match, obviously, but it's just the idea that she's willing to get into the ring.
Yeah, which
unlike
is good.
the Iconics, we haven't seen what feels like weeks.
Yes, exactly it. But yeah, they did go to Japan.
Good on them.
So yeah, Bayley accepts the match. Bayley does end up getting the win with a Bayley to belly, as she calls it, I believe, which is a little like throwy suplex.
Yep. Yeah, it's belly.
Yeah,
it's belly to belly suplex.
Yeah, it was good.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was cool. I like Bayley. I like Nikki Cross. So it was all wins for me.
Yeah, definitely good.
Yeah, no complaints at all.
Yeah,
like not a single.
I'm really interested to see how this pushes and whether Bayley's going to push to have Alexa taken out of the match and Nikki put in, or if it's going to end up being like a triple threat or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
triple threat would be cool, but see that there's already like a triple threat tag match going on, plus a mixed match tag match.
Yeah,
there's only so much multiple competitor stuff they can have going. I think it would be pretty cool. I think it might be like. Alexa, like maybe next week, maybe
it could
Alexa.
Be like a best in the world type thing where Nikki gets the win, like Nikki gets most of the match, and then Alexa comes in last minute and takes the title.
No, I think
around.
Next week we'll see Alexa versus Nikki.
For
the spot.
You think that soon?
Yeah. Well, because
they keep hinting at it.
Extreme Rules is the week after.
Yeah.
So it's
and
like,
they keep hinting at the universe wanting Nikki in that position.
Yeah. So it's like, well, we're going
pin them together.
Yeah. This is what they want. This is what you want. Fight for it.
Interesting. So yeah, next we have Kofi walking backstage just piffing pancakes at people, like frisbeeing them at people. And then we have a random Mustafa Ali promo, which we've been seeing quite regularly these couple of weeks. And again, just him talking about like, I'm like you, you're like you, I look like you and you look like you, so let's do things like you. So yeah, it was crazy.
Weirdly enough, the chat's been going bonkers, and we've not seen any of it.
No.
So I keep looking at the screen, and nothing's coming through. Where are we? All right, you keep chatting.
Yeah. So this does cut to there is Kofi and Samoa Joe.
Danny Burch and One Lorcan were the team for NXT back in the day. Yeah, keep going. You keep chatting. Sorry, I'm just gonna go through here.
Yeah. So Kofi and Samoa Joe are having a face-to-face in the ring with Kayla. Joe does make Kayla leave and is like, look, Kofi, this is me having some gratitude.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, it's cool. It's weird that we can't see the chat until now.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on over there. Because the last thing we saw in our chat window was when Killer mentioned MJF
over Baron
and
Corbin.
Baron. That was like an hour ago.
Yeah.
I don't know what's
ridiculous.
Going on with Google right now.
Yeah, full on. But yeah, so they're, Joe's like, you always get the help of your friends, this, that, and the other. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, one ends up as your butler and the other one's your hype man. Mm-hmm. He's like, you use people just like I do. We're not much different, you and I. And then goes on to obviously, like, talk about his family and stuff like that. And Kofi's like, look at you on cue talking about families and stuff like that. You know why? You're jealous because you're never going to have a moment like me to celebrate with your kids. And then Joe offers, like, he's like, all right, I'll give you this. You shake my hand, but it means you agree to the fact that I'm better than you and I'm probably going to beat you and all this other, like, shit. And he's like, you do that and I'll make sure that everybody is spared and you're left alone until Extreme Rules and your family is going to be fine and this, that, and the other. And Kofi's obviously hesitating. Joe's like, come on, clock is ticking, 10 seconds, let's go. And Kofi's just standing there and he's like, and then he sort of cocks this weird little smile. And then he's just like, bam, flips Joe the bird. And then just a brutal Trouble in Paradise on him. Like, it just takes him straight out. Beautiful. This shows the resilience of Kofi Kingston, that he's not going to back down or belittle himself for anything. It was absolutely gorgeous. I'm really excited for this match now. With the way Kofi reacted, obviously that's going to piss Joe off a lot. So this gave me the feeling that maybe the title is going to change hands.
Joe's going to win. Yeah. He's going to take the belt.
Yep, I definitely think that put him in that position to be like, you know what, this is done.
Give it to Joe.
So yeah, it was a good little thing. I did enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was good.
Yeah.
It was, once again, it's a little out of character. Like, I understand by like Kofi has had the belt for a long time now.
Since Mania.
Since Mania. So that was 4 months ago.
Yeah.
So 4 months, he's defended it consistently throughout that time, yet he's somehow coming out clean, which is cool. Saying that though, this has to do some ego. Like after 11 years of no championship, now you got it and you're winning. You're gonna like, and this is where moments of lapse come in. This is where you get lazy. This is where you underestimate your opponents. And Samoa Joe is not someone that you should underestimate.
Definitely not. And Kofi does mention, he's like, you talk about how my friends always help me, but I won WrestleMania on my own. I won, I beat, whoever on my own.
Dolph on my Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank, WrestleMania, Stomping Grounds, I did these all myself.
Yeah. And he's like, what have you done on your own? Like, clearly nothing.
You lost the US Championship. Yeah. Got it back. Lost it again.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm getting more and more hyped for this. Initially, I was like, oh god, here we go with Joe. But I think it's the right time for Joe to move up to a bigger belt because the mid card is not doing anything for him.
I still certainly
skyrocketing Ricochet.
Yeah, similarly, I think Joe is bigger than the mid card belt.
Definitely. And I used to watch. This is weird. I watched TNA very briefly, and Joe was a part of TNA, and he was phenomenal. When I saw him, he had a belt on him and he was just vicious and he was so brutal. So I'm loving that I'm seeing that Joe that I first got introduced to, because that's what I liked about him. Even though he's the bad guy and we're supposed to hate him, I loved how he was a force to be reckoned with, and he's moving back into that, and I'm so for it.
Yeah, like I understand that he. It is very fascinating that once again he is going for the family angle. We saw, as you said, we saw him do this with Ray trying to take on Dominic.
AJ.
We saw this with AJ at the end of last year, with essentially trying to fucking sexually assault AJ's wife. It's interesting that he's gone that route again. But you hit them where they're weakest, and that's family. A lot of these guys, that's their weak point. So it makes sense.
Yeah. So next we have Sarah backstage with Heavy Machinery. She's asking about how they feel the news of the opportunity to win this, to get into this triple threat match at Extreme Rules, and they're just like, we have the advantage here against Dolph and KO. Like, we've been tagging forever. Otis is like, we're best mates. I love this man, and gives Tucker a big old kiss on the head, which seems to be a theme which I love. I love these guys and the romance that they hold together. Like, they're just proper bromantic. But they're like, these guys, like these three teams have 18 titles combined, like this, that, and the other. And Sarah's like, did you just make that up? And he's like, no, we've studied our opponents. We know who they are, what they've accomplished, what they can do, and that's how we're going to get the upper hand. That's how we're going to win. And I was like, yeah, Heavy Mac. I was like all about it. And I was just like, I'm so for this. And then it does cut to Apollo Cruz walking backstage. For reasons, I believe he is prepping for a match with Andrade, which has been coming for a while. Excuse me. And then the announce table show a video of Bobby Lashley talking about what had happened the night before. Earlier in the day, he had posted a video on Twitter saying, Braun Strowman got what he deserved. I'm a little banged up and bruised, yeah, but Braun's come out of this whatever. He's like, if I see you again in the hallway, he's like, I'm not sending you to hospital. I'm sending you to a morgue. Ooh. So Bobby is fuming. He clearly wants some retribution after the recklessness of Braun Strowman.
Understandable. Like, as he said, this isn't wrestling. This is something, like, it's just fucking beating on something.
Yeah, this is just vicious, yeah. So next we have Andrade with Selena Vega versus Apollo Cruz. Same sort of match we're seeing from Andrade.
So Andrade, who had been away for a couple of weeks, as he lost his mother. So
I'm so sorry.
We send our condolences to Andrade.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
It's a horrible thing. Horrible thing to have, man. So happy to have you back.
Yeah, definitely good to see you in competition again. As expected, Selena Vega did get involved. She's very, very consistent with that swinging leg break thing from
Hurricanrana.
That's it. Yeah, the Hurricanrana from the apron while the referee is distracted checking on Andrade, which did throw Apollo Cruz into the announce table, which did get the win for Andrade. And then this goes backstage to Dolph Ziggler taking up, getting ready for his match. KO walks in, he's like, oh, stretching neck, good stuff. And Dolph's like, oh, God, here we go. And KO's like, no. Like, we've been put in this situation. We both want titles. Like, let's just make the most of this. Let's, like, go out there, give it our all. Let's be a team. And Dolph's like, okay. And this was very reminiscent of things we used to see in the day when they always peg, like, you know, enemies against each other and put them, and they throw out the differences for the night. And I was like, how long is this going to last? We know what KO is like.
The answer is always minutes.
Yeah, definitely minutes. And then this brings us to Ember Moon walking backstage. Carmella comes over, gives her a little bit of a pep talk, like, you can do this type thing. There was a lot of backstage segments here for some reason. Because that then went into Aleister Black talking about the knock that was on his door last week.
Yeah, so it turns out that, you know, someone was knocking at his chamber door. So he went to the door and opened it, no one was there.
Not even a bag of poop.
Nothing.
He called this shit poop.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, not even like that. Just, so fucking weird.
But Aleister was weirdly psyched by this. He's like,
like, oh, this is a mind game. I realize
we're fighting on a spiritual level, like on a spiritual plane, and I applaud you. Yeah. He's like, you know, he puts out an open challenge for Extreme Rules. If like you're man enough to knock on my door and run, then you should be man enough to face me at Extreme Rules.
So like, does that mean it was someone just ding dong ditched him? So is he gonna have to fight like a 12-year-old child?
Yeah. That would be like that little kid.
Yeah, they bring back was it Nathan, the guy that was the one that's the Raw tag team with Braun?
Nathan or something like that. Like
no, Nicholas. His name was Nicholas.
There you go, Nicholas. That would be great. To some little 12-year in the ring, and Aleister Black's like,
and then Black masses that fucking kid.
Oh, that'd be great.
So erupts that kid's face.
Please let that happen. That would be quality. Like it's like Daniel Bryan's little girl or something. Yeah. But this brings us to a match. It is Ember Moon versus Mandy Rose with Sonya Deville ringside. Ember beats Mandy with a beautiful Eclipse. Absolutely, I love that move. And yeah, that was that. It was a match. It felt like it was just filling space. I wasn't too hyped about it. There was no build up to it or anything like that. It wasn't horrible, but it just felt a bit meh to me.
I agree. Like I said, it's the storyline is there, and I kind of don't hate it. But it's just I want to see more Ember, but
give her something better.
But like, what is there though? The women's roster on Raw, on SmackDown is kind of disappointing. Hence why the likes of Alexa Bliss has to come over here, like just to do something. It's a real damn shame, and I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah, it's rough. This brings us to Shelton Benjamin, who's randomly standing in front of like a dark green background, and they ask who he thinks is going to win the WWE Championship, and he just starts looking around. He's going like this, and he smiles weirdly, and he just keeps looking around, and then eventually walks away. And I was like, they're turning Shelton Benjamin into a meme. Because earlier in the day, before I had watched the show, I'd seen like the video of someone looking around, and they got like all the mathematical problems floating around their head. Yeah, I'd seen that, but with Shelton Benjamin's head, and I was like, what's going on here? And then I saw that, and I was like, oh yeah, they're literally just using this to make him a meme. And you know what? Good. Shelton Benjamin back in the day was amazing as an athlete. He's a lot more built than he used to be. He used to be very lean and very quick moving. He's a bit more of a heavy hitter. But yeah, it was so funny. I was like, yes, make this dude a meme. Bring him back onto screens, because Shelton Benjamin, like, is just as funny as like your R-Truth and stuff like that. Like Shelton Benjamin is a good competitor, and he's a funny dude. So I definitely love to see some more of him.
Weirdly, the big grin on his face did resemble the Mask of the Fiend. Coincidence? I think so.
Yes, definite. Coincidence? Yes. Does
it mean anything? No.
Probably not. So this brings us to the main event of the evening, which is Dolph Ziggler and Kevin Owens versus
it?
Heavy Machinery.
Oh yeah.
There is Xavier Woods and Big E have their own like their
Yeah, so what
New
would
Day
normally
announce
be
table?
the Spanish table or one of the other tables was there, and it was set up in bright orange with 3 piles of the pancakes.
And Tony
with
Bryan and Rowan on the
and
other
Daniel
side
Bryan,
next to
yes.
Corey of Graves. And as Daniel Bryan's been saying for weeks, he's like, Heavy Machinery are a great tag team, but, like these idiots over here, the New Day, all they do is gyrate and act stupid, and that's where we capitalize, and words are thrown between the New Day and the Planet's Champ while this match is going on, and then eventually the New Day just snap and they attack Bryan and Rowan while this match is still going on, mind you.
Credit to Xavier, who does this fucking awesome drop on Rowan.
Yeah.
He's sitting on that chair, just fucking pegs him.
Yeah, and then Rowan ends up cracking it and throwing pancakes everywhere and almost trips and necks himself on him. But then he eventually gets Xavier up for the Iron Claw through the table. And we cut to a break and we come back and they've all been kicked out and the match has been restarted. Beautiful match. For the most part, KO and Dolph did really good as a tag team. Until Dolph went for a super kick, which Otis ducked under, and he took out KO.
which allowed for the heavy mech to come through with a sneaky
they did a
compactor.
Beautiful compactor. Otis got the pin on. It was KO, I believe, ultimately.
Yeah. So with the compactor, it normally has Otis going for the initial, with Tucker coming over for the big drop, and he normally rocks the pin. But in this time, he landed the compactor, it bounced off. Otis snuck back in, got the pin, as Otis was the legal man. Very cool touch, because if anything, they could have just let Tucker take it, and that would have been a questionable
the way
win.
he did like the second drop and rolled out of it was just flawless. They did that really well.
Because when you do matches like this, especially when they have a little bit of chaos, it's always tough to pick who is the legal man, because I didn't see the smack between them.
Yep.
So,
and I thought Dolph was legal, not KO.
Yeah. So awesome. This is cool. Like, credit to that. Big thumbs up.
It was really good. Obviously, Heavy Machinery win, which means they are now part of the triple threat match at Extreme Rules, which I'm stoked about because I would love to see Heavy Machinery walk out of there with titles. And then KO, obviously, absolutely pissed. Gets a big old stunner on Dolph, who, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful exchange there. Kilobyte asks, are we possibly seeing KO go face again?
Yes.
Yeah.
100% yes.
Yep, definitely. But yeah, KO's yelling, this is my show, and then that's the end of the show.
With the guy, with one of the refs ringside being like, hard cam, Kevin, hard cam, face the hard cam.
I heard you yelling that, and then I noticed it, and I was like, ah! KO. So good. Obviously, SmackDown was not on par with Raw this week. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't. There was huge standards this week. They were upped hugely. There was no way SmackDown were competing.
So the problem here is this is exactly what we're used to seeing. This is old Raw, and this what presumably was the old Raw, and this is what old SmackDown was. There has been no transition here because, as we mentioned, Bischoff isn't coming in for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So this is straight up by the numbers. This is what we're seeing now. Saying that though, if this is what Raw is becoming and SmackDown staying as this, that's going to be a really big problem.
Yeah.
We see a lot of video recaps from what shit that happened on Raw, and that is honestly the fault of the wild card rule.
Yeah.
And hopefully when Bischoff comes in and Paul and Heyman gets in there permanently, wild card rule fucking bounces.
Yes,
we need that shit gone.
Yeah.
So I hope that when they do, they get this, SmackDown ready for a revamp come October when they go to Fox, because they need to do something.
And again, Bischoff understands the magnitude of what he's got on his hands with them going to Fox as well.
Yeah, so they need to, even if it's because granted there will be a huge shakeup come October, but they can't rest on this lot. They can't rest on these lots. If they need to get a minimum viewer hit by October, they need to start changing shit now.
And time's
Same way
running
that
out.
Raw did. Because I said, Bischoff isn't there until, 3 weeks, which is probably puts him, I think they said about 3 weeks, which puts him after Extreme Rules. Like, it's not now. And, like, because that's true, because Paul Heyman's already there.
Yes.
He can be like, you start Monday. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
But Bischoff isn't. He had tours, and I think he was supposed to be coming to Australia soon. I think that had to get canned, obviously, because he got himself a new gig.
Yeah.
But, like, this sucked.
Yeah, it definitely, it was just the same shit we've been seeing.
Yeah.
But I think for me, Dash said he was here.
He was here, but he wasn't. Was he not doing? Well, Dash would know. But like, yeah, what was he doing? Because like with Paul and Vince, they were sitting side by side. In the
Oh,
gorilla.
no way. He did.
I did Thornbury last week. Okay.
Shit. We were gonna go.
Yeah, we're gonna go. Oops.
Oops. Oh, that would have been awesome. But yeah, I'm
So I thought you
excited.
meant he was here as in he was in Gorilla, but no, he was here in Australia.
Yeah. No, I'm so excited to see the direction this takes. I'm sure it's going to take a bit longer, but I
fucking
think
hope it improves.
I think Bischoff is a fast-working man. He is very well prepared for this position. Like I said, that interview I was reading just before. Yeah, he understands his magnitude and he's ready to take it on. And he's even said, you know, I'm still going to be doing my podcast, but obviously this is my number one priority.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited for where he's going to take this.
Well, because the big thing here is like he was hired with the idea that he has the ability to negotiate with some network execs.
Yeah.
So that's sort of where his skill is. And I guess as they head into Fox, this is probably lean in, Jem. Thank you.
I'm losing my voice, so I'm just going to get
which
quieter
means,
and
which
quieter.
means you have to get closer. If you're losing your voice, like don't fucking throat the thing, but like
God knows what's been on that. I shouldn't look at it.
it's Josh. It's beard hair. Mostly. But yeah, so like I think that's gonna need to be very important with this new deal in
Definitely.
place that they need him to be there and be that guy. But yeah, so let us know what you thought of this week's episode of SmackDown. Chuck them in those comments below the Discord or head over to the Facebook group and have a chat with us.
Tweet us.
What'd you think? Give it the Kurt Angles.
I reckon it's the same old thing we're sort of saying. It wasn't great. It wasn't horrible. It was meh. I'd probably give it a bar.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like last week, we would have given this a Kurt, but having them see the response from what they saw last night. Now we know these guys are willing to change shit on the fly. So why don't they look and go, wow, Raw was received really, really well. What are we doing? The same? What can we change? We have 12 hours to airtime. What can we change?
Yeah, which they changed shit like last minute. So
Yeah.
12 hours is plenty of time to work on
Yeah,
something.
so no, it's straight up a bar. Like it got literally half a point because it fucking turned up. And like there were some cool things with Joe and Kofi and setting up for Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
Overall, it was kind of nothing.
Yeah.
So Dash just gives it a Triple H. I assume a Triple H is fucking nothing. I don't know what Triple H is.
What's a Triple H?
Is it that two? Because Triple H is Triple H two pointy nips. Because Triple H has the fucking pointy nips in the biz.
Is that this? Is that because it makes a H?
Triple H, yeah, the H.
Yeah.
He gives an extra point in there somehow.
So yeah, we got the
2.5.
Kurt, the bar, and the H.
Yeah, 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5 is an H.
2.5.
Oh, he's gonna tag
I'll
us in
tag you on
something.
Twitter. Sweet. All right, speaking of Dash, though, that does bring us to the last segment of the show where we have our good friend Dash, who has all his fingers in all the wrestling pies. Not as sexy as it sounds, or is it? Where he goes and then grabs us all the latest and greatest news that you need to know about in the wrestling, and he compiles that bad.
Hey, a Triple H is when
That's a big old thumbs down.
it's a big old thumbs
Oh,
down.
and then Randy Orton gets fucking douched.
Yeah, he gets powerbombed by Bautista.
Bold.
Or backdropped or something.
Yeah, backdrop. So Dash compiles a nice, sweet list of goodies that happen and brings into a section we call Dish in the Dirt with Dirt Shay. Dash.
Dish it.
I have to boot it up now because I have to.
Ah, unacceptable.
Sorry, the Dirt Sheet waits for no man.
That's a big old Triple H to
One, two bits of news today, but the second one is a bit of a longie.
you. Ooh.
Number 1. WWE is looking to increase the teenager demographic for television programming. Dave Meltzer of the Figure 4 WrestlingOnline.com is reporting that WWE will be moving away from the PG direction in favor of the edgier material.
Yes!
Meltzer commented on the situation with the following quote, "They were very aware that they had lost touch with the teenagers," Meltzer said. They were afraid of completely losing teenagers, especially when AEW starts. This is a direction they felt they had to go. And I totally agree. Like,
bye PG era.
There's nothing wrong with PG, but when your competitors are even hitting slightly edgier, they got to do something. And this is the right idea.
Because video games.
Yeah, video games and blood and fucking swearing. And
kids and guns and stuff, they need to see more blood on their television.
Given the thing is like...
Or they're not going to be
Well,
interested.
because even they're saying like AEW, like Khan and I think Cody as well may have come out saying that this, what you saw here in the unsanctioned match with Moxley and Joey Janela, this is not common TV.
Yeah.
This is pay-per-view shit. And it's unsanctioned, so it's not even really an official match. Like, you will not see this shit on TV. And that's fine. And that's totally cool. But I do think they need that slightly harder product here.
Yeah.
I still think the WWE have some skill and some work within the PG space, but I do think they need to blur that line between PG and what is, TV 13, I guess, in the US.
Yeah.
They need to push that line.
Definitely.
Yeah. Like, have some swears, have some, a bit of edge.
Yeah.
Or just bring in Edge and then...
Yeah. Bring in the rated R superstar. That'll definitely turn everything up to 11.
That's true.
He's too busy doing Vikings. Sorry, guys.
Number 2. Seth Rollins' Twitter outburst ends with Ospreay. Just 48 hours removed from making colossal dick, quote, in brackets, yes, that's me, dash, saying dick, out of himself by insisting that WWE has the, quote, best wrestling on the planet, end quote, before farting out stomping grounds. Shoddy main event, Seth Rollins finds himself embroiled in a Twitter spat with the NJPW standout Will Ospreay. Now, my side note, I watched a match today of Will Ospreay versus Ricochet from WCPW, and holy fuck, was that a damn awesome match.
Yeah.
Will Ospreay and Ricochet, brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
And Will Ospreay was just here this past weekend with NJPW.
He was indeed. He just didn't he just switched from Bullet Club to Chaos or whatever?
Yeah, I think so. I think there was a 10 there.
Turning factions.
Yeah.
It began with the following tweet from the Beast Slayer on Twitter. Quote, doubling down, best pro wrestling on the planet. See that cruiserweight triple threat? And that's just one night, one match amongst the many. Find anyone else alive who does what I do as well as I do, it as often as I do, you can't. Hashtag WWE Stomping Grounds, hashtag Universal Champion, hashtag WWE. Ospreay then responded to Rollins with these following, I'm alive. Rollins then responded, I'm sorry, little guy. We already have a better version of you here, and he just won his first US title tonight. Brackets, congrats, at King Ricochet. Keep working hard, though, buddy, end quote.
I did see all
The band to continue with Ospreay rebuttal. Quote, fact of the day, Will Ospreay wrestled more matches in 2009 than WWE Rollins.
Ooh, trouble.
Catch up, little guy. Kiss emoji. Rollins countered with, quote, I mean, if you want to talk numbers, we can compare bank accounts too. P.S. That's counting a month off with a broken back, buddy. End quote.
Dang.
No need to bring Buddy Watson into this, but that's fine. Finally, Ospreay decided to take the high ground while still jabbing at the UC belt. Quote, you love adding stuff, don't you? I mean, the original question was, find anyone else alive who does what I do as well as I do, do it as often as I do it. No talk of money, no talk of Ricochet. You said anyone, and here I am. Just as consistent, just as good. I hope that back heals up.
Oof. Savage.
Let me just have a swig of water.
Savage.
Rollins had caught heat from the fans from the ongoing exchange out of the two competitors, so it's not surprising that when Rollins extended an olive branch yesterday, this being July the 2nd, Ospreay accepted, with only one condition. Quote from Seth Rollins, after a few days to sit on it, I'd like to apologize to Will Ospreay for the tweet I sent his way about comparing bank accounts. It was dumb of me and not in line with my values. The moment I pressed the send button, I knew it was trash, but I'm too stubborn for my own good. And Ospreay responded with, quote, apology accepted. just buy me a Nando's. Face. Honestly, nothing but respect for you, sir. Just a bit of a banter in my mind. I've followed your career since you were Tyler Black. I know it's not all the money, it's about the love. Keep flying your flag and having fun. Now, I also found out today, because of this Will Ospreay match, that Ospreay's finisher is called like a cheeky Nando's or something.
I love it.
Holy fuck. What do you think of this Twitter spurt?
I think it was great. Honestly, I think it brought a lot of attention to both Rollins and Ospreay. I think it's great for Will. And I really want Nando's.
Yeah, it's a really good hard sell for Ospreay. like, hey, everyone look at Ospreay. He's fucking dope. And I don't think that wasn't the intention.
No.
I do understand that Seth, being Universal Champion, he is in a place of feeling needed and feeling compelled to defend the WWE, especially right now with the idea of everyone shitting on them, with the likes of AEW and New Japan having sort of a strong run at the moment.
And I believe it was last week we did speak about Seth obviously coming to the defense of the WWE after being torn down by Mox.
By Mox, yeah.
Obviously, because he's in a completely different position to Mox as far as
when Moxley was there, and he was getting the shitty time. Like, if these guys were supposed to be brothers, why didn't Seth ever step up and help him out? Like, we have all this shit. It's because he was busy, getting championship runs and whatnot. So, like, I understand why he feels compelled to do so. Like, he's not going to bury WWE as while he's beating the champion.
Yeah,
not going to happen.
Yeah.
Saying that though, like, Roman was also interviewed this week about Moxley, and he gave him nothing but good wishes.
Yeah.
Credit to Roman, man.
Yeah.
What a champ.
Reigns is honest.
But yeah, so weird move, bold move.
Weird flex, but okay.
Yeah, weird flex. That's the expression what those kids say.
Yeah.
Let us know what you thought of this week's Dirt Sheet. Now, other than that, so I don't think there was any. Now, Dash did send me some other messages this week about some other thingies. Now, I'm just doing a quick check of what I've got. Was there anything else I wanted to
Daddy.
No, I think I may have misread. That's fine. Dash does always unload facts on me, and sometimes I miss them, sometimes I forget them. But yeah, a lot went down this week.
It did.
A lot went down this week.
And I'm all about it. I'm all about Raw, and I can't wait to see what SmackDown's going to bring to the table once.
Yeah, we've got a couple of weeks left of this of this kind of trash structure. Hopefully, it does.
Who knows how quickly they could change some things next week?
Yeah, Bischoff's not in Australia anymore, so what they can do now?
Exactly.
But yeah, so that brings us to the end of this week's episode of The Young and the Restless, the Pop Culture's WWE podcast. Listen to us every Friday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast feeds, 9 a.m. on the YouTubes. Did I say 9 a.m. twice? Fuck it. Who cares?
No, you said 8.
9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you want to join that wrestling conversation, head over to thepopculturist.com/shop. Nope. If you want to join the wrestling conversation, head over to facebook.com/thepopculturist, where you can chat with the likes of myself, Jem, Dash, other assorted wrestling fans. We are also on the Discord. Link is in the description. Apparently the link is expired. It shouldn't have. Fucking stupid Discord. I'll check that out. I'll get that shit sorted. So apologies in advance. If you want to support the Pop Culturist and watch us record this show live, like some of you have had a sneaky little taste of this week, head over to patreon.com/popculturist, and any tier, whip us some dollary dues, and you can join in the fun times. So we should also mention that big thank you to Nathan, whose name I can't remember. Nathan Masiti, right there. His name pops up for his becoming a Patreon on the $10 level. Big thank you, dude. We much appreciate it. Because you could have done it for $1, dude. You really could have.
And I told him that, but he didn't.
What a champion.
Thank
you very much, Nathan. But if you do want to support us in a more once-off fashion, head over to popculturist.com/shopping. Buy shirts like this, other assorted shit with our logos on it. So you can buy this shirt that reads, quote, "Wrestling, it's better than the things you like." Very arrogant of me. Don't care. Because it is. Because it really is. And we are also at Twitch at twitch.tv/thepopculturist. If you join us this coming Wednesday, we will be predicting Extreme Rules using the power of WWE 2K19 for a whole bunch of fun. So hopefully, if all goes well, because this is the last time, New Legacy Inc. gave us a nice push again. Maybe we can get the same going on this time. So you come join us 8 o'clock Wednesday evenings. It's Australian time, and I think that's it. Oh, but yeah, if you want to talk, here's something that isn't wrestling. While you're in the podcast feeds giving us those lovely cheeky 5-star reviews, why don't you go check out For the Players, the Pop Culturist PlayStation podcast. We have good chats about PlayStation-y things.
Oh yeah.
That's on Mondays. But until then, I'm Ryan Betson.
And I'm the dead man walking, Jem.
And we'll see ya next week.
Bye.